So I started taking the table apart, and that led me to taking one of the inserts apart that the rod goes through. And when I was initially thinking about what to buy, what to purchase for the table, and should I reuse the old ones, I did see these online. They screw in. Inside, they have bearings, and then a washer, and then you have your outer ridge, which I broke off getting it out, at least the first one. Here's another one that's not put together. So these do cost, they're more expensive. And your other option is this. You can put one on the outside and one on the inside, and really all it is it's just plastic, and your rod slides through it. So initially I was thinking, well, I want to go with the more expensive ones. I want it really nice. But then I was thinking about tables that I've played on. And I'm pretty sure I know I've played on some tables that had this in them. And what I noticed is they're loose. The rods, there's a lot of play in the rod. You can move it all over. And I don't really like that. This, there's not that much play because it's just barely bigger than the rod. And if you think about it, spinning is not part of the game. You're really sliding and hitting. You're not even doing maybe a half revolution. So sliding is more important. So it makes sense that this will slide back and forth just as easy, if not better than this. Because when you look at this, you'd be sliding on this little ridge right here, which is about the same size as that, maybe a touch smaller, because you don't have the edge there. So it actually makes sense. It would slide just as good on this. So I'm really happy that I went with these. I think they're going to work out really nice. I do have to pick up some screws or see if I have enough screws to put all of them on, because it's going to take 6 to each side. So another thing I did is I took off this end panel right here, and they're held on by these little L brackets. And the reason for that is I wanted to get to this. This I definitely want to take off and change. But I was looking at it is, should I add a layer in here? So I think I'm going to. And we have this issue here, so I need to screw this back in. And since I'm doing that, I may as well double up on the screws. Make sure that I have plenty of screws going along that edge and this edge. And then I'll put boards here going up and down with a piece of 3/4 inch by 3/4 inch screwed here and here to hold them up, so the base, the playing surface, will have even more support than what it had. Maybe it doesn't need it, but if I'm doing this, I might as well really do it up. So that's where we're at. Oh, I did take these corner pieces off right there. They pry up pretty easily, so they can come out. This will not be used, this metal piece. Even if I wanted to use it, I only have 3 of them. But I don't want to use it anyways, because I would like to, that'll be wood. So I would think this would slide out, but it doesn't appear to very easily. But I'll get it out. Once I take this top off, I can just tap it down or up. It is this dense, very dense board. High density, manufactured density board. It is strong, but over time, if you have moisture, it does warp, and that's what happened with the supports, which I did show earlier. Yeah, right here. You can see how that just over time warped. And really, it was just probably normal moisture in the air. Okay, so we've got things going. I'm not going to tear both sides apart. I plan on doing one side in the bottom and then I'll do the other side. If I remove too much at once, it'll have no support up for itself, and I don't want to do that. So do one side at a time and do the base. We can do that. Oh, and I did bring up a bunch of lumber. I had some thin stuff laying around. So I'm going to start going through the lumber, and I don't care if it's pine or poplar or even cucumber right here. If it's really extra beautiful, I'll save it else for something else. I'll try to use the lower grade stuff on the bottom first because you're not going to be able to see it, so it's kind of a shame. I do have some hardwood ones in here. Maybe mix that in here and there to give it even more support. Okay, let's get going. Let's start cutting. I don't know if I'm going to cut tonight, but that'll be our next task, is start cutting and getting that base ready.